Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for giving me the beautiful questions that you did yesterday in the Network New Zealand Foundation group. And hopefully I can answer them to the best of my ability to help you to move forward with some of those questions. So let's get started on the questions. And if you bear with me, I'm going to go to Facebook and pull up the questions. All right, so the first question came from Mariana Martin. And she said, what percentage of read emails should we be aiming for when we email our subscribers? And if we aren't getting enough read, what would you suggest to improve the numbers? Good question, Mariana. And I'd like to tackle it in two ways. So first of all, statistically, if you are running your email list from a platform like MailChimp or Aweber or Constant Contact, I personally like MailChimp for mine. That's if you don't have something large like Infusionsoft. But I personally like MailChimp. So if you're running your emails from those platforms, you'll find that statistically it'll give you a percentage. And I think that's what you might be looking at and saying, statistically, I'm reaching X amount of people and I should be reaching how many? Well, it does depend on your industry that you're in. And I would say to you, if you're getting anything between 25% to 35% open rates on a general mailing list, that's pretty good. So if you're getting more than that, that's fabulous. Like, you're doing really well. But it is industry specific. And those platforms will tell you how much an industry actually is the open rate of that particular industry. So, for example, the IT industry, the open rate is between 18 and 20%. And that obviously is a number that will shift from month to month depending on how many open rates tend to happen on MailChimp. Now, saying that, I would like to just go a little bit further and say to you that it is dependent on the quality of your list and what you're doing with the list. So we all have like general mailing lists. And one of the things that I find that we don't do is clean up our lists. And I would suggest that you clean up your list as often as you possibly can. Cleaning up the list means going into the list and finding out who hasn't opened that list, hasn't opened your newsletters ever, or who hasn't opened your newsletters for the last 6 months. You can determine what that means for you. And I would actually remove those people off the list because they're not interested in your newsletter. By doing that, you have fewer people on your list, but you have a higher quality list, which means that your open rate will kick up automatically. So you'll find that the people that are interested in your newsletter will want to be on your newsletter, and that will kick up open rate. So I hope that makes sense. I'll just give you a few examples of newsletter lists that I have. So I have a general list, and my open rate on that is between 25 and 35%. It is higher than average industry, and I do clean up that list from time to time. I do it every quarter. I have another list which is just for a networking group that I run, and that's about 90 women in that group. That list has an open rate of about 70 to 80%. And then I have another list where people are doing a program with me, and that list means that they have to work. So that list has a really high open rate of about 90 to 100%. But if somebody hasn't opened up a newsletter, I do a follow-up on that and text and go, hey, you need to open that up because there's work to do on there. So, and that would be the reason why it's got quite a high open rate, because there is follow-up that happens there. So everything depends on what you're doing with your list, the quality of your list, and how you clean up that list. So that kind of answers both questions. But if, as a general rule, you're still putting out and you've cleaned up your lists and you've got quality lists and people are still not opening up the emails, I'd be looking at how you are structuring the email. Are you making it interesting for your reader, or is it boring? Is it just about you? Do you have interesting titles? Do you have graphics in your newsletter? Are you taking them to sites where they can look at more information? And are you making it succinct? So not long, because I see a lot of people go and put almost a whole blog in a newsletter. Just tell people a little bit and then take them somewhere. So that's just a few ideas of what you can do for a newsletter to get it opened. I hope that answers your question, Mariana. And a little bit long, but I hope it answers it. Right, the next question goes to Michelle, our lovely Michelle Gulovich, and quite honored that you're actually asking these questions, because I do know that you know the answers to them already and you're asking them more for the group. So thank you for that, Michelle. I am going to answer them as best as I can. So how does one work out the best way to target efforts in digital marketing? And then you've said it's getting somewhat overwhelming in new platforms. With new platforms emerging all the time, how do I figure out where to be to make the most of them and get the best return on investment? Okay, so that is kind of a two-part question. Let me tackle the emerging platforms first. The first thing that I always say to my clients is don't get overwhelmed by the noise online. There's a lot of noise going on online. There's a lot of platforms. There's a lot of places where you think you should be. I would be choosing one or two platforms when I'm starting out that I work consistently. But the way that I choose them is very, very important. So don't try and be all over the place if you're going to spread yourself thinly. Be more consistent on one or two platforms and be in there and really work those platforms, because that's going to make the difference for you. As your business grows and as you can get more help either by outsourcing or by having another staff member helping you out with some other stuff, you can then do a little bit more in the marketing arena, in the online space, in the digital space. Okay, so the question here is then, how do you choose those platforms? I would be saying to you, you really need to understand who your target audience is. Like, you really need to understand them. So work out who the target audience is and then work out which platforms they hang out on. This is not about what you like and what you prefer and what you think will work for your business. Your business works with your customers hanging out. So you really need to understand who that customer is. What do they look like? What do they like? What don't they like? How old are they? Is it a business? Is it an individual? Are they housewives? Really figure it out and really hone down a niche. Anybody telling me that everybody is my customer, I'll guarantee you that you're not going to be selling as much as if you hone it down, niche your market, and really understand who your customer is. That way, you can choose the platform that is best suited for that customer. And then you can move around to other platforms, because they will be hanging around all over. Your customer will be hanging around on all the platforms, but they'll be predominantly on specific platforms. Right. Then, Michelle, you said, how does one work out the best way to target efforts in digital marketing? That is a really interesting question, and I think I've answered some of it by understanding who your audience is and where they're hanging out, which platforms. But you also need to understand your product and your service that you're offering and make sure that they're matching. And then you will work out, as I said, the platform, and then use marketing efforts like your Facebook advertising or your LinkedIn advertising or Instagram advertising for that matter. Right. I hope that's answered that question, Michelle. And you do have another one. And this is a really, really important question that you've asked me. So the question that you asked me is, how does one work out the best way to target efforts in digital marketing? And you said it's getting, sorry, that was the question that you just asked me. Apologies. So the question you asked is, how do I measure return on investment for my digital marketing? For example, Instagram especially. And look, I know you're the queen of Instagram at the moment. So again, thank you for asking the question. And I hope that I can answer the question. And I'm going to try and answer it as generic as possible for all your digital marketing. Okay, because that includes your websites, your social media channels, your newsletters, etc. And the place that I want to start with that is by saying to you, you need to understand your business, and you need to then put a strategy in place. And part of that strategy is your return on investment. And return on investment can be measured in a number of different ways. So and you need to decide that up front. So, and it also depends on where you're at in your business or in your social media efforts. So for example, if you're just starting out in social media, your return on investment will probably be measured in things like, how many likes am I growing on my Facebook page, or how many people have I got coming to my Instagram account? How am I growing things? Whereas as you're growing and as you're advertising, your return on investment may be measured on how many leads I've generated or how many sales I've made. So how many click-throughs to the website from a social media channel. If you're running contests, it could be how many contest entries. But all of this you need to understand before you can say, this is how I measure my return on investment. So think of it strategically first. And then when you go and measure, you're understanding what you're measuring for each social media channel. And then you'll understand how you need to advertise as well, because each thing will be different. So on Instagram, the biggest thing I would say to you for Instagram is, and this is without the advertising on Instagram, just your Instagram account generally, I'd say make sure that you've definitely got a website link in your profile on Instagram, and it's taking people to somewhere. And that somewhere will depend on how you want to measure your return on investment. So for you, Michelle, you sell your jewelry. So you might want to take them to a specific page, and I would change up that link from time to time. I wouldn't just have it going to one particular page on a website. A lot of people lose the opportunity because they'll take people to their contact page. But if you're selling jewelry, I'd rather take them to a page where you're actually selling your gorgeous jewelry. See how I did that? Okay, so you change up the links and things on your Instagram profile. So with Instagram, I'm just going to tackle this quickly. Again, it depends on where you're starting out on your journey and where you're at the moment. So if you're just a newbie starting out, you might be measuring, for example, how many people I'm growing my Instagram account by. And you might have a target, and that's your return on investment in the account, because the more people you've got in, quality people, the more people you can then take to your website and show them what you've got. And then that depends on what you're advertising and how you're putting content up on your Instagram account and where you're taking people. So don't be afraid to put calls to action in your actual content on your Instagram accounts. I'm talking about your post on Instagram. Right, and Michelle, another question. So I hope that answered it, Michelle. Another question that you've asked is newsletters. How to write a good heading that won't go to spam and gets good open rates. So I'm always one for testing things and testing what works and what doesn't work. Generally, I find that the newsletter platforms will take things where they're words that they consider spammy and throw them into spam anyway, and that will come through email boxes and be considered as spam. And people can set in the email boxes spammy words. So be careful of the words that you're using in the heading, but try and grab attention. I wouldn't use things like free, big sale, click now, things like that in the actual heading. But a little trick that you can use in a heading that I thought was quite unique and a little bit different. You know, when you're sending out a newsletter, you might say hi, and then you get the code with the hashtag name and hashtag, which pulls all the names out of your database. And then it sends the newsletter and it filters that name in. I've actually used that in the title of my newsletter, and it's worked really well because it's actually calling out a name. So, hi, so-and-so, did you want to know about the training courses coming up in March? And that's been quite an interesting title, or a way of doing a title. So just a little bit of a trick or a tip. But really what I would say to you is work out what is working best for you and what's not. You can do split testing, where you send out half your newsletter to one group and use one title, and then send the newsletter out to the other half of the group and use a different title, and see which one works. See which one has a better open rate. See which one works. Use the same content, etc. See which one gives you the better open rate. And ask your clients. I mean, if you've got clients that are genuinely your good, fans of yours, go and ask them what they like. Did they like that heading or didn't they like it? You can also Google some good headings as well. All right, Danny Winmore. So Danny's written, she's asked the question, what makes an ad successful? So Danny, I'm assuming that you're talking now, obviously we're talking digital marketing, and I'm assuming, because I saw that you were putting out a Facebook ad, so shall I assume that it is a Facebook ad at this stage that you're talking about? All right, so what makes a Facebook ad successful? Facebook ad is very successful if you can target the right audience with the right product at the right time. That's what makes an ad successful. And then, of course, within that is your content and your graphic and your and the way that you position the ad. So is it a video ad? Is it a carousel ad? Or is it just a photo? So what makes an ad successful is all of those things, really. Again, like I've said about the newsletters, I would do, if you're not sure, I would do split testing, and I would work out what is working, what isn't. The thing that I love the most about Facebook advertising is that you know right now in real time what is working and what is not working. I would give an ad about 24 to 48 hours to run to see whether it is working or not. And if you find that there are not a lot of click-through rates or things are not working that way, stop the ad and go change things in the ad. So here's a little tip. I would run 3 ads at a time. I'd keep the same heading. So this is if I want to test the photo on the ad, okay? Or I want to test whether a video carousel or a photo works best on that ad. I'd run the same heading, title, same content, but change up those particular areas of the ad, and then I would run that, and I would see which one is performing the best. And that's what we call split testing. If I wanted to check my content and make sure that the content is right for my audience, I would use exactly the same photo or the same carousel or same video throughout 3 ads, but then I would change the content in each ad or the title. It all depends on what you want to test. And then what you can do is test for 24 to 48 hours, see which one works the best, and then just stop the other 2 ads and let the one that's working the most successfully run for you. So that's just a little tip on, how you want to run your adverts. So Danny, I hope that answered your question. Stephanie. So Stephanie Johnson, you have asked a really, really interesting question here. And your question is how to go about setting up affiliate links. And so that is such an interesting question, because affiliate links can be used as a form of getting income in, for income that kind of works for you depending on where you put it. So let me start a little bit in the beginning with affiliate links, and for people that don't know what they are. An affiliate link is where someone will create a product and then get other people to sell that product for them and pay those other people a commission. So it's like having a sales force behind you without you having to do much more than that. They work really well in digital products. So Amazon has got a beautiful affiliate program. If you're into IT, JV has a great affiliate program. If you're into anything else, things like ClickBank have a really, really great affiliate program. That's Click, C-L-I-C-K, and then B-A-N-K. But literally, you could type into your Google search bar for whatever you do in your business. You could type in the product and then put affiliate. And any company that runs affiliate programs will come up, and then you sign up as an affiliate. Now, when you've signed up as an affiliate, so I'm going to use Amazon as an example, and this works across all the affiliate sites. When you sign up as an affiliate, so on Amazon, you then can go and search for products. And when you search for those products, you'll find that there's it'll say link to page, and you can choose the link, and that link will have your affiliate code in it. That code then can be put onto your website, so you can take the photo, or you can take the link, and it'll just pull through to your website generally. You can create a sales page. You can do whatever you wanted to sell that product. And then when people click on that link, they will get taken to Amazon. Now, in Amazon, for example, and this doesn't work for all affiliate programs, in Amazon, if they click on that product but they don't buy that product and they start searching through Amazon, what happens on their computer, the person that's clicked on that link, it plants a cookie on the computer, and that cookie will last a certain period of time. So for Amazon affiliates, it lasts for 3 months before it disappears. For other programs, it may last a shorter period of time or longer. You just need to read the terms of each affiliate program that you're joining. What that means is if I'm coming through your link and I click on it and I hit Amazon, but I don't buy that book or that product, and later on in about 2 weeks' time, I come back to Amazon and I buy something else, or I'm searching on the site and I buy something else, then you will still get the credit for those products that I buy in that period of time. Unless I, as a customer, go click on somebody else's affiliate link, and that'll override yours for Amazon. So that's pretty much the way it works. Now, anything like ClickBank, and this is important to know when you're doing affiliate marketing or when you're looking for affiliate links. For ClickBank, you'll find that your percentage of money that you're getting whenever you sell a product is almost 50%. It can range from 30 to 50%. So you're getting half of the sale. Where with Amazon, you're only getting a 5% return on your sell items. So think very carefully and really look around for affiliate links. Just a quick tip, Facebook do not allow affiliate links into the page. So you do need to take people to a website and get the website link and put it onto your page. You can't just take an affiliate link and put it into a Facebook post. They won't allow it. And some of the other platforms won't allow it either, but Facebook is pretty strict on it. Right, Stephanie, I hope that helps you. And then you've said advertising on Instagram, which is a whole big thing unto itself. So all I'm going to say to you is if you're advertising on Instagram, you're going to be doing it through one of 3 ways, which is through your Facebook account. And that'll either be through the ad creation for Facebook, or you'd be doing it through the Power Editor, or you'd be doing it through the Facebook API. They're all training sessions unto themselves. But if you were asking me how do you advertise on Instagram, just follow the instructions as you go through. Make sure you've got really good photos. Make sure that you are taking people to the right page on your website where you want them to buy. And just have a bit of fun with it. Again, do split testing. So I think I've really spoken about split testing quite a bit for what you're doing for digital marketing. That was the last question that I had from Stephanie. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to pop them on to ask. I won't be doing a video if you're adding other questions on, but I will go on and just answer those questions for you. If you'd like to know more about what I do, you can contact me through the inbox, or you can go to my website, which is www.theonlinebusinessacademy.com. And we have a lot of training sessions, live sessions happening at the moment, which are in Auckland. We will be traveling around the country for some of these sessions, and we are doing sessions live overseas in April and May. So we do get a lot of information from an international market as well to bring back to New Zealand. I hope that helps you. If you need any help or you want to use my services, as I said, just inbox me and I'm more than happy to help you. Thank you, and guys, ladies, have a fabulous day. Speak soon.